Dr. Jonathan Miller was winding down for the evening in his modest clinic, nestled on the outskirts of New Seattle. His day had been typical: routine checkups, a few emergency cases, and the occasional exotic pet that needed his expertise. The familiar hum of his holographic communicator interrupted his thoughts as he sipped his tea. Expecting a late-night call from a worried pet owner, he was taken aback when the Galactic Council's emblem materialized in the air before him. "Dr. Miller," the holographic voice intoned, "your skills are urgently required on the planet Xylox. You have been selected to treat a creature of significant importance to the Xylian Empire. Immediate departure is necessary." Jonathan blinked in astonishment, nearly spilling his tea. The Galactic Council? Xylox? He had read about the Xylian Empire, known for its advanced technology and formidable queen, but he never imagined he would be summoned there. The message continued, detailing his mission. The patient was a Xylian Draken, a massive and revered beast, and it was gravely ill. The urgency in the council's tone was clear. Failure was not an option. He set his cup down, his mind racing. The opportunity was both thrilling and daunting. Treating an alien creature of such importance could propel his career to unimaginable heights, but the stakes were equally high. If he failed, the repercussions could be severe, not just for him, but potentially for relations between Earth and the Xylian Empire. Within an hour, Jonathan had packed his medical kits, ensuring he included every conceivable tool and medication that might prove useful. His assistant, a young vet named Lily, looked at him with wide eyes as he explained his sudden departure. "Are you sure about this, Dr. Miller?" she asked, concern etched on her face. Jonathan nodded, though he felt a knot of anxiety in his stomach. "I have to do this, Lily. It's a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. Take care of the clinic while I'm gone." With a final nod, he boarded the Galactic Council's transport ship, waiting for him at the nearby spaceport. The sleek, silver craft was unlike anything he had ever seen, its interior humming with advanced technology. As the ship ascended into the sky, Jonathan felt a mixture of excitement and fear. The familiar landscape of Earth faded away, replaced by the vastness of space. The journey to Xylox was surprisingly swift, thanks to the Council's advanced propulsion systems. As the ship approached the alien planet, Jonathan gazed out at the stunning view. Xylox was a world of towering crystalline structures and shimmering blue oceans, bathed in the soft glow of twin suns. The planet's beauty was breathtaking, but Jonathan's thoughts were focused on the task ahead. Upon landing, he was met by a delegation of Xylians. Tall and slender, with shimmering blue skin and intricate, glowing tattoos that seemed to pulse with life, they regarded him with a mix of skepticism and hope. Their leader, a stern-looking figure named Alara, introduced herself and wasted no time in briefing him on the situation. "The Draken is a symbol of our strength and heritage," she explained, as they made their way through the capital city's winding streets. "Queen Azara is deeply concerned. No one has been able to identify the cause of its illness. We are placing our trust in you, Dr. Miller." Jonathan felt the weight of her words. The streets were lined with curious onlookers, their eyes following him as he passed. He felt like an outsider, a stranger in a world that was both fascinating and intimidating. The Xylian architecture was unlike anything on Earth, with buildings that seemed to defy gravity, their surfaces shimmering with a bioluminescent glow. Finally, they reached the palace, a grand structure made of crystalline light, its spires reaching towards the sky. Inside, the atmosphere was tense. Jonathan was led to the Draken's lair, a cavernous chamber filled with strange luminescent plants and the echoing roars of the beast. The air was thick with a musky scent, and the temperature was noticeably warmer. Queen Azara herself awaited him, her presence commanding and her gaze piercing. She was tall and regal, her flowing robes adorned with intricate patterns that seemed to shift and change. Her eyes, a striking shade of violet, fixed on Jonathan as he approached. "Dr. Miller," she said, her voice carrying an undeniable authority. "You have been brought here because of your reputation. My Draken Ferox is dying. You must save him." Jonathan bowed slightly, feeling the weight of her expectations. "I will do everything in my power, Your Majesty." With a nod from the Queen, Jonathan approached the Draken. The creature was massive, its scales a dull gray instead of their usual vibrant blue. It lay curled in a corner, breathing heavily, its eyes half closed. Jonathan took a deep breath, reaching for his scanner. As he began his examination, he felt the wary eyes of the zillion medics and the silent pressure of the Queen's presence. Ferox growled softly as Jonathan's scanner hummed, but the creature was too weak to do more. Jonathan's mind raced as he analyzed the data. The Draken's vital signs were alarming, but there was no clear cause of the illness. He knew he was facing one of the greatest challenges of his career, and the stakes had never been higher. "Hang in there, Ferox," Jonathan murmured, determination hardening his resolve. "We're going to figure this out." As the first chapter of his extraordinary journey began to unfold, Jonathan realized that he was not just fighting to save a life, but to bridge the gap between worlds, proving that even the most impossible tasks could be achieved with courage and compassion. The journey to the Draken's lair had given Dr. Jonathan Miller only a glimpse of Xylox, but now, with the creature's condition stable enough for a brief respite, he had the chance to explore this alien world more thoroughly. Queen Azara had granted him a few days to gather his thoughts and investigate further, aware that an exhausted mind would not serve her beloved Ferox well. Jonathan decided to take this time to learn more about Xylox and its unique ecosystem, hoping to find clues that might help him understand the Draken's mysterious ailment. He was assigned a guide, a young Xilian named Naira, who was enthusiastic about showing him the wonders of her world. "Dr. Miller," Naira said with a warm smile, her tattoos shimmering in the sunlight, "I will show you the places where the Draken used to roam. Perhaps it will help you find what you seek." Their first stop was the Crystal Forest, a breathtaking expanse of towering crystalline trees that seemed to sing with the wind. The ground was covered in a carpet of soft, glowing moss, and the air was filled with the gentle hum of bioluminescent insects. Jonathan marveled at the sight, his scientific curiosity piqued by the unique flora and fauna. "The crystals here resonate with the planet's energy," Naira explained, her voice echoing softly in the serene environment. "Many creatures, including the Draken, come here to absorb the minerals they need to thrive." Jonathan took samples of the moss and crystal fragments, noting their unusual properties. He wondered if a change in the forest's ecosystem might be affecting Ferox. As they moved deeper into the forest, he spotted a group of small, lizard-like creatures basking on the crystals, their scales reflecting the ambient light. Next, they visited the shimmering lakes, a series of interconnected bodies of water that glowed with an otherworldly luminescence. The water was clear and cool, and Jonathan could see schools of iridescent fish swimming gracefully beneath the surface. Naira told him that these lakes were sacred to the Xilians, and that many of their ceremonies and rituals took place here. "Ferox used to swim in these waters," she said, her eyes reflecting the lake's glow. "He would emerge revitalized, his scales shining brighter than ever." Jonathan collected water samples and observed the fish, noting their unique physiology. He wondered if a change in the lake's chemical composition could be linked to Ferox's illness. The thought of such an intricate connection between the environment and the creature's health fascinated him. Their final stop was the Cave of Echoes, a massive cavern system known for its strange acoustic properties. The walls of the cave were lined with glowing crystals that pulsed in time with the vibrations in the air. As they entered, Jonathan was struck by the eerie beauty of the place. "Be careful," Naira warned. "The echoes here can be disorienting." Jonathan nodded, his ears already adjusting to the strange symphony of sounds. He carefully navigated the cave, taking note of the mineral deposits and the bioluminescent fungi that clung to the walls. He found traces of the Draken's presence, claw marks and scales that had been shed, indicating that Ferox had spent considerable time here. As they exited the cave, Jonathan felt a growing sense of connection to Xylox and its inhabitants. The planet was a delicate balance of natural wonders and intricate ecosystems, each element playing a crucial role in the health and vitality of its creatures. He realized that understanding Ferox's illness required a holistic approach, considering not just the Draken itself, but the entire environment it thrived in. Back at the palace, Jonathan reviewed his findings, cross-referencing them with the data he had collected from Ferox. He began to form a hypothesis. The recent ecological shifts on Xylox, perhaps caused by climatic changes or other environmental factors, had disrupted the delicate balance that Ferox depended on. The creature's diet and habitat had been altered, leading to a deficiency in essential minerals and nutrients. Jonathan shared his insights with Queen Azara and the Xelian medics. "I believe Ferox's illness is linked to changes in his environment," he explained. "We need to restore the balance and provide him with the necessary minerals to recover." The Queen listened intently, her expression thoughtful. "What do you propose, Dr. Miller?" "We need to replicate the conditions of the Crystal Forest, the Shimmering Lakes, and the Cave of Echoes," Jonathan replied. "By recreating his natural habitat and supplementing his diet with the minerals I've identified, we can help Ferox heal." Queen Azara nodded slowly. "Do whatever is necessary. Ferox must be saved." With the Queen's approval, Jonathan and the Xelian medics began their work. They created a specialized enclosure for Ferox, mimicking the conditions of his natural habitats. They infused the water with minerals from the Shimmering Lakes, lined the enclosure with crystals from the forest, and adjusted the lighting to replicate the cave's glow. As they worked, Jonathan couldn't help but marvel at the Xelians' advanced technology and deep connection to their planet. He felt a sense of camaraderie with the alien medics, their shared goal bringing them closer together despite their differences. Days passed, and gradually Ferox began to show signs of improvement. His scales regained their vibrant blue hue, and his strength returned. The once feared and revered Draken was on the path to recovery, thanks to Jonathan's determination and the collaborative efforts of the Xelians. One evening, as Jonathan observed Ferox resting peacefully in his enclosure, Queen Azara approached him. "You have done well, Dr. Miller. Your insight and dedication have saved Ferox." Jonathan smiled, feeling a profound sense of accomplishment. "It was a team effort, Your Majesty. I couldn't have done it without the support of your people." The Queen nodded, her gaze softening. "You have earned our respect, Jonathan. Xylox will always welcome you as a friend." As he prepared to leave Xylox, Jonathan reflected on his extraordinary journey. He had come to an alien world to save a creature of legend, and had discovered a profound connection between life and the environment. The experience had changed him, deepening his understanding of the universe and the intricate web of life that connected all beings. With a heart full of gratitude and a mind brimming with new knowledge, Dr. Jonathan Miller boarded the Galactic Council's transport ship, ready to return to Earth. He knew that his story would inspire others to embrace the unknown, and that the bonds he had forged on Xylox would remain with him forever. And so, with the stars as his guide, Jonathan set off for home, eager to share his tale of courage, compassion, and the extraordinary world beyond imagination. Dr. Jonathan Miller had spent days immersed in the alien world of Xylox, gathering vital clues about the environment and its impact on the health of the Draken Ferox. With his hypothesis formed and preliminary treatments showing promise, Jonathan felt a cautious optimism. However, he knew that the real challenge was yet to come, identifying the precise mineral deficiency and ecological imbalance affecting Ferox and developing a definitive cure. As he pored over his collected data and samples in the palace's advanced laboratory, Jonathan received an urgent summons from Queen Azara. He hurried to her throne room where he found the Queen and her advisors deep in discussion. "Dr. Miller," Queen Azara began, her voice calm but tinged with urgency, "we have received reports of unusual activity in the region you identified as crucial to Ferox's health. Strange phenomena and disturbances have been observed. We need you to investigate immediately." Jonathan nodded, his mind already racing with possibilities. He gathered his equipment and set out with a team of Xelian warriors, including his guide Nira, who had become an invaluable ally. The journey to the remote region was fraught with challenges. The landscape grew increasingly rugged and treacherous, with steep cliffs and dense forests that seemed almost alive with bioluminescent flora. As they ventured deeper, Jonathan noticed subtle changes in the environment. The air grew colder, and the vibrant colors of the plants dimmed. "We're getting close," Nira said, her voice barely above a whisper. This area has always been volatile, but it's never been like this. They reached a clearing where the ground was covered in strange, crystalline formations that pulsed with an eerie, rhythmic glow. Jonathan's scanner beeped incessantly, indicating high levels of energy and unusual mineral concentrations. He knelt down to examine the crystals more closely, taking samples and noting their unique properties. Suddenly, the ground trembled, and a low rumble echoed through the clearing. The Xylian warriors tensed, their weapons at the ready. Jonathan stood up, scanning the horizon for the source of the disturbance. "Over there!" Naira pointed to a cave entrance partially obscured by overgrown vines and glowing fungi. "That's where the reports mentioned strange activity." Cautiously, the team approached the cave. The air grew colder, and an unsettling energy seemed to emanate from within. Jonathan's heart pounded in his chest as they stepped inside, the darkness swallowing them. Inside the cave, the walls were lined with the same glowing crystals, their light casting eerie shadows. The air was thick with a metallic scent, and the ground was slick with a strange, viscous substance. As they moved deeper, they heard a faint, rhythmic pulsing, like the heartbeat of the planet itself. Jonathan's scanner detected a powerful energy source ahead. They rounded a corner and entered a massive chamber, the walls shimmering with countless crystals. In the center of the chamber was a massive crystal formation, pulsating with energy and emitting a low, resonant hum. "This is incredible," Jonathan breathed, his eyes wide with wonder. "This must be the source of the disturbance." As he approached the central crystal, he noticed that it was surrounded by a network of smaller crystals, each one connected by thin, glowing filaments. He carefully took a sample, his mind racing with the implications. These crystals seemed to be a crucial part of the planet's energy network, and any disruption could have far-reaching effects on the ecosystem. "We need to stabilize this formation," Jonathan said, turning to Naira and the warriors. "If we can restore the balance here, it might help Ferox recover fully." Working quickly but carefully, Jonathan and his team used a combination of Earth technology and Xylian tools to repair the damaged crystals and restore the energy flow. It was delicate work, requiring precision and patience, but gradually, the pulsing energy became more stable, and the eerie hum softened. As they finished their work, Jonathan's communicator beeped. It was a message from the palace. Ferox's condition was improving rapidly, showing signs of complete recovery. Jonathan felt a surge of relief and satisfaction, knowing that their efforts had made a real difference. The journey back to the palace was filled with a sense of triumph. The team's success in stabilizing the crystal formation had not only saved Ferox, but also restored balance to a crucial part of Xylox's ecosystem. Jonathan felt a deep connection to this alien world and its people, their shared efforts bridging the gap between their vastly different cultures. Back at the palace, Queen Azara greeted them with a rare smile. "You have done more than save Ferox, Dr. Miller," she said, her voice filled with gratitude. "You have restored a part of our world that is vital to our survival. For that, we are forever in your debt." Jonathan bowed, humbled by her words. "It was a team effort, Your Majesty. I couldn't have done it without the help and support of your people." The Queen nodded, her gaze softening. "You have earned a place of honor among us, Jonathan. Xylox will always welcome you as a friend and ally." As he prepared to leave Xylox, Jonathan reflected on the extraordinary journey that had brought him here. He had faced challenges and dangers beyond his wildest imagination, but he had also discovered the incredible beauty and complexity of an alien world. His experience had deepened his understanding of the delicate balance of life and the importance of working together to protect it. With a heart full of gratitude and a mind brimming with new knowledge, Dr. Jonathan Miller boarded the Galactic Council's transport ship, ready to return to Earth. He knew that his story would inspire others to embrace the unknown, and that the bonds he had forged on Xylox would remain with him forever. And so, with the stars as his guide, Jonathan set off for home, eager to share his tale of courage, compassion, and the extraordinary world beyond imagination. Dr. Jonathan Miller's return to Earth was marked with a hero's welcome, but his mind was still on Xylox and the incredible journey he had undertaken. His experience had changed him profoundly, and he was eager to share his newfound knowledge and the story of Ferox, the mighty Draken, with the world. As he stepped off the Galactic Council's transport ship, he was greeted by a throng of journalists, fellow veterinarians, and curious onlookers. Cameras flashed and questions bombarded him, but Jonathan remained composed, his thoughts organized from the long journey home. "Dr. Miller, what was it like treating an alien creature?" one reporter asked, shoving a microphone towards him. "It was an extraordinary experience," Jonathan replied, smiling warmly. "The Zillion Draken, Ferox, was unlike any creature I've encountered, and treating him required understanding the intricate balance of his environment and physiology. It taught me the importance of holistic care, considering not just the creature itself, but the entire ecosystem it depends on." Over the following weeks, Jonathan embarked on a series of lectures and seminars, sharing his insights with the scientific community. He detailed the unique properties of the Zillion ecosystem, the advanced technologies used by the Zillions, and the collaborative efforts that led to Ferox's recovery. His talks were met with awe and admiration, inspiring many to explore the possibilities of interplanetary veterinary medicine and environmental conservation. One of his most significant contributions was a comprehensive paper published in the Galactic Journal of Xenobiology. Titled Holistic Approaches to Xenobiological Health, a Case Study of the Zillion Draken, the paper detailed his findings and methodologies, offering valuable insights to scientists and veterinarians across the galaxy. In recognition of his groundbreaking work, Jonathan was invited to join an elite group of intergalactic scientists dedicated to studying and preserving alien life forms. This opportunity allowed him to continue his research, collaborating with experts from various fields and exploring new worlds. Back at his clinic in New Seattle, Jonathan implemented many of the techniques and insights he had gained from his experience on Xylox. His practice became known for its innovative approaches to veterinary care, attracting clients from across the planet and even other worlds. One day, as Jonathan was attending to a particularly challenging case involving a genetically modified feline, he received an unexpected visitor. Queen Azara's holographic image appeared before him, her regal presence as commanding as ever. "Dr. Miller," she said, her voice resonating with warmth and respect, "I wanted to thank you personally for your efforts. Ferox has fully recovered, and our ecosystem is thriving once more. Your work has left an indelible mark on Xylox." Jonathan bowed slightly, a smile spreading across his face. "It was an honor, Your Majesty. I am grateful for the opportunity to learn from your world and to have contributed to Ferox's recovery." The Queen nodded. "You will always be welcome on Xylox, Jonathan. Our people hold you in the highest regard. Should you ever need our assistance, you need only ask." As the hologram faded, Jonathan felt a deep sense of fulfillment. His journey to Xylox had not only saved a life but also forged a lasting bond between two worlds. The respect and friendship he had earned from the Zillions were invaluable, and he knew that this connection would open doors to countless new opportunities and adventures. In the years that followed, Jonathan continued to push the boundaries of veterinary science, his work inspired by the lessons he had learned on Xylox. He mentored young veterinarians, encouraging them to embrace the unknown and to consider the broader environmental context in their practice. His legacy grew, and his story became a symbol of courage, compassion, and the limitless possibilities of exploration. As he stood in his clinic one evening reflecting on his journey, Jonathan received another unexpected message. It was from Nira, his Zillion guide and now a close friend. Her message was simple but filled with excitement. "We've discovered a new creature on Xylox. We could use your expertise." Jonathan's heart raced with anticipation. The adventure wasn't over, it was only just beginning. With a smile, he began preparing his equipment, ready to embark on another journey into the unknown. And so, Dr. Jonathan Miller's story continued, a testament to the power of curiosity, the importance of environmental stewardship, and the unbreakable bonds that form when we reach beyond the stars.